good morning, everyone. I'm Kurt Roth, and this is the 505 Sports Venture Program. Thanks for joining us again. I've got Adrian behind the glass. I've got Steve Davis up in the General's chair across the hall, and we're live from ProView Studios here in beautiful downtown Albuquerque on Central Avenue. Before I get to my guest today, I want to talk a little bit about our initiative. That's the 505 SVF March to a Million. We are in the midst of raising $1 million in year 2023 that will go solely to benefit student athletes at UNM. Our initiative is community-based. We're looking for donors starting at $10. We go to $20 a month, $50 a month. Whatever you can do, we need your help. As I've discussed many times, I believe that the UNM Lobos are sort of like the equivalent of the Green Bay Packers. We're a community-supported institution and athletic program. So no donation is too small. We need all your help. So I ask you to go to our website, 505sports.org. That's 505sports.org. Check it out. Join us in a march to a million. Thanks for being here. We'll be right back after this short break.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for hanging with us. And I'm here with our special guest today, a good friend, a big-time Lobo, Jalen Dominguez, director of the Lobo Club. Jalen, thanks for being here.
I appreciate it, Kurt. Thanks for having me join you.
So let's start. For people who don't know you, let's give you a little personal background. Okay. You're a New Mexican.
Born and raised. My dad from Tucumcari, New Mexico. My mom from Albuquerque. They both met at UNM, actually. They met in their graduate program at UNM. They in their doctorate program, and then both had long careers at UNM. So Albuquerque's home. I grew up on this campus, and my wife is a Valley and UNM graduate, and now raising our kids here. So this is home.
Okay. Now, we do know, and we'll mention this, that you spent some time down south?
I did. After at graduation of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to do something in athletics and really basketball. I wanted to be a basketball coach. And so Lou Hinton was the coach of New Mexico State at the time. And he reached out, offered me an opportunity to go out there and play on the team and learn from him. And so I spent 4 years down in Las Cruces.
Wow, that's a great guy, Lou Henson. I have never heard anyone say a bad word about him.
You know, outside of just being an incredible basketball mind, I think you go back through the history of New Mexico basketball, and you're going to have that list filled with Lobos. But if we're going to sneak one or two on there for New Mexico State, Lou Henson belongs on the list.
Got to be there. I agree. Again, never heard a negative word. Only 100% positivity. An inspirational guy, apparently. I only had the chance to yell at him from behind the bench as a youngster. I'm much more mature now. I would never do that today. I wish I had the opportunity to talk to him like the gentleman he was. Okay, so now, how long you been at UNM, and what's your progression to where you are?
Yeah, so I've been back home now for about 6 years. After graduation from UNM for my master's program, I went out to UCLA. I worked at UCLA Athletics for 3 years in a variety of roles, overseeing some tickets and sales before getting into the philanthropic side development, similar to what I do now. Moved home about 7 years ago, worked at the UNM Foundation, actually, raised money for the president's office before I finally got a chance to get back into Lobo Athletics. Spent my first year just kind of overseeing everything revenue generation for Lobo Club. I was interim executive director for about a year and a half before I was given the full-time position. That was 4 years ago, and I've had a lot of fun and a great run and enjoying being at the Lobo Club as our executive director for the past 4 years.
Okay, so 4 years as executive director of the Lobo Club. Now, I think people know the Lobo Club. It's an organization that actually, when it started, was way ahead of the curve, was a super advanced concept, basically, to help raise funds for UNM athletics. It's continued now. I don't know. We've got to be approaching in 40 years or 35 years. I don't remember the exact date, but I don't think people really understand the whole mechanism of how it works. First, you basically work to support every athlete at UNM. How many athletes is that now, approximately?
Yeah, we support every single one of just over 400 athletes at UNM.
So over 400 athletes, but you do that in various ways. I mean, when we're getting parking to Lobo events, there's the Lobo Club. When we hear about scholarships to the student athletes, there's the Lobo Club. When we hear about raising money for staff, there's the Lobo Club. So you've got like your hands in every portion of UNM athletics. So what am I missing? What's the overall concept?
Yeah. So I think one thing you touched on that's interesting, a lot of people don't know, is the Lobo Club is one of the oldest of its kind. So as we've talked about the model in college athletics and the private support, the Lobo Club is one of the first in the country to do it. So it dates back almost, or it feels like it might be 100 years now of history of the Lobo Club being, prominent in our community and supporting student athletes. But what's important is how much it's grown and it's changed, not in terms of its intent, but how it accomplishes its intent. The goal of the Lobo Club is pretty straightforward. We support Lobo athletics in every way, shape, or form. That starts with our student athletes, of course. The primary focus has and always will be providing an unbelievable experience and opportunity for our student athletes. So whether that's through scholarships, whether that's through other aspects of preparing for life after sport, we're there for them. From a program standpoint, it's making sure our programs are as competitive as possible. Whether it's money for recruiting, nutrition, whatever our programs need, we have a way to help fulfill those needs through support from our local community. So we're a connector, we're a bridge, and you've heard that term probably before. Our goal is simply to make sure that the community has an avenue to support and enhance every single one of our programs and initiatives.
And you're inside the athletic department, but in essence, a separate part, correct? Isn't it, the mechanism is a little confusing for an outsider.
It can be. It's an important distinction, though. We are a separate nonprofit organization, so we're governed by a board of directors, filed with the state of New Mexico. So we are a 501c nonprofit that works on behalf and in support of Lobo Athletics. So our primary focus, our mission, our goal is to support Lobo Athletics, but the Lobo Club as itself is a separate organization from the university.
Yeah, we just saw the athletic director, Eddie Nunez, discuss or announce a broad-ranging development plan. I don't have the exact terminology down. It was inspirational, but you guys are also an important part of that.
We are. I mean, you're looking at the overall progression that we're hoping to achieve with Lobo Athletics over the next 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, the shaping of our future. There's no way for that to be accomplished at the level in which we hope it to be accomplished without that philanthropic private support. And so the Lobo Club will play a very prominent role in direct support, whether it be the scholarships, the initiatives, but also bigger picture, from capital campaigns to overall budget. We're there to enhance and support everything Lobo Athletics does.
Great. Well, that leads us to our next subject, which is NIL and the Lobo Club. The creation of this movement, this NIL movement, kind of threw a monkey wrench in the whole fundraising enterprise, I guess, of not only UNM, but every school.
It did. You know, it's a brand new concept, and a brand new concept like that can become uncomfortable. But it was something that, as we've navigated it over the last year, 18 months, you know, really it's quite simple. It's a reality. It is a reality of college athletics. It's happening all over the country, so it's not a unique problem for UNM. It's a unique opportunity. It's across the industry. And it's really, I think, as we've gone through it, we've all come to understand that it's all part of the same goal. What the Lobo Athletics does for our university, what our university does for our community, it all goes together. And NIL is another way of supporting this institution, of supporting our athletic department, of supporting our student athletes to a much bigger goal. And so while initially uncomfortable, I think it's starting to become a little bit more, hopefully, interwoven in the fabric of ways to support Lobo Athletics and our student athletes.
Awesome. We're going to talk specifically about what our organization, 505 SVF, has done with and through the Lobo Club as now a partner of UNM Athletics. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Hang with us, please.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers, underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here in ProView Studios, high above beautiful Central Avenue in downtown Albuquerque, and I'm here with my guest, director of the Lobo Club, Jalen Dominguez. And we went to the break talking about sort of the newness and this whole different avenue. And for those who don't know, the world changed as college athletics in 2021. A series of court cases, finally culminating in one in the Supreme Court of the United States, basically gave student athletes the right to monetize their name, image, and likeness. Now, what does that mean? We're still finding out what name, image, and likeness does. I think the most important part of that is they can receive compensation that doesn't impact their eligibility. The rules of the NCAA used to be stringent. You can't accept stuff. You can't take stuff from someone affiliated with the university or defined as a booster. Clearly, the school still, UNM, New Mexico State, Texas, Oklahoma, the school cannot pay the student athlete other than what they provided in the scholarship. So the New Mexico legislature jumped in right away, and boom, about a little over, it's almost 18 months, monetizing the name, image, and likeness for student athletes in the state of New Mexico without them losing their eligibility became the law of the state. So 505 Sports Venture we saw an opportunity. I started with my right-hand man at the time, Rick Siegel. We started this thing out of the back of his car, and we're still kind of working part-time out of the back of Rick's car. But we have a whole different organization now. We've developed into a little bit of a fundraising machine. We are a 501c4, or that's pending, so we're not a charitable organization. We are a community 50 nonprofit. We're a nonprofit, New Mexico based 501c4. We will be granted that status shortly. That's just pending with the government. It's more red tape. So the first deal is we had to work with you guys. And there was, as you mentioned, there was resistance because the school didn't really understand what it was going to be. And someone like me who was known, I've been here 50 years in and out of New Mexico as a graduate, a booster, a supporter, no one knew what I was going to do. I mean, and neither did I. So we took this was a struggle at first, but UNM jumped on board pretty quickly. Today we are a licensed partner with UNM. We go to the pit, you go to the football game, you see our ads, we're there. And I think a while back, Dave Williams, Associate Athletic Director, said it best. 505 SVF, Lobo Athletics are on different roads going to the same destination. And that is making the student athlete experience the best it can be. So from your perspective, when you first heard of this, what were you thinking?
Yeah, obviously it was something that was brand new, and anyone who's been in college athletics for a while, it's something that had been ingrained maybe in your mind and those who had followed it closely, that it was something that was off record, off the table, something that you could not do. And so when it comes in, it's brand new. Here's one thing that I thought was really interesting, though, Kurt, is it was new for everybody. This isn't something that just UNM inherited. It's new all over the country. And so as we started working with our counterparts around the country, on the phone network at conferences, what really shined through, I think that really helped us with our comfort level, is there's a lot of people around the country that are trying to jump in on this and not for the right reasons. And as collectives were formed and companies were formed trying to figure out how they can get a piece of this pie, a lot of universities and development offices, Lobo clubs, are having a really tough time working with and managing those relationships. What we realized at UNM is we have a situation and a model that people around the country are envious, and here's why. We have someone like Kurt, we have someone like yourself, Rick, your group, who's doing it strictly because you believe in and care about the University of New Mexico, Lobo Athletics, and really these student athletes. You are there for them every step of the way to try to make sure not only are they having an amazing experience, but that they're protected and have someone to go to and lean on if they have questions, concerns, to make sure that they don't fall in any of the issues or the pitfalls that can come with this new situation. So I think from my standpoint, from Lobo Club and from Lobo Athletics, we realized pretty quickly, maybe not as quickly as we could have, but pretty quickly, that in this new landscape, our situation was unique, that we had the right people, the right company, with the right motives, they're willing and ready to support. So I think that's helped us a lot in moving forward, realizing we're in a good spot with what you guys do.
Well, we kind of got lucky, I think, in that regard. You combine my passion for UNM athletics with the fact that I have been an attorney for 40 years. So I read the law and I was amazed at how simple it was and what it meant, while guys like Lobo Club, presidents of the university, athletic directors were like, this is 180-degree difference. what does this mean? To me, I knew what it meant. The kids can get paid, whether it's $1, $10, or $1 million. The kids can get paid, and how this impacts on recruiting, and not only recruiting, retention. With the transfer portal, retention is key. So we jumped into it, and I am proud to say over the last year, we have been consulted by 5 different universities from people in the athletic department asking, can you talk to our people about the collective? Can you talk to our legal, how you are doing it? And what we're doing is we're doing it straightforward, we're doing it very simply, and we're doing it pro-athlete. The athlete is paramount here, and that's what our story is. Anyway, we got to take another break. Hang out with us. We're going to be back. We're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to ask you for money again. Stay with us.
It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Hey, Dad, what do you got?
Okay, welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Lobo Club Director Jalen Dominguez, and we're in our final segment of our show. One of the things that I want Jalen to comment on is I have heard somewhat directly, but mostly subtly on the side, you're taking, 505 SVF is taking money from the Lobo Club. And although we are a different organization, that concept is sort of not based in reality. I think that's a kind of a negative concept in a sense about fundraising in general.
Yeah. You know, I think that perception's been out there. And so I'll make something really clear. 505 is not taking money from the Lobo Club. 505 is enhancing what the Lobo Club is already trying to do. 505 and NIL being new, and Kurt, we've talked how that's kind of the theme with NIL is it's a brand new thing. Here's something we do already know that's tried, true, and proven. A successful athletic department has an incredible impact on a university and a university on its community. When you look around the country and you see some of the amazing runs you've seen from Florida Gulf Coast or Chicago, Illinois, or whether it be all the way back to the Flutie effect from Boston College in football, when you see these successes and these athletic departments function at a high level, the return on the university is unreal, and it's an impact that you can't have probably anywhere else on campus. And it's in a community like Albuquerque, the health of our university is a direct impact on the vibrancy of this overall community. And we truly believe that with everything we do in Lobo Athletics. So now let me transition that to NIL. A successful NIL program right now is directly correlated with successful programs. And so from a Lobo Club standpoint, we need people to jump in and join the Lobo Club in any way they can. And as a Lobo Club, we're asking that all of our members and everyone in the community jump in and support 505. By supporting what's happening in NIL and our 505 SVF collective is directly supporting our student athletes, our program, and our university. And so I agree, I don't like the concept of one is taking money away from the other. It is just two different avenues supporting the same goal and helping us get there. And we need the Lobo Club to be successful, and we need 505 SVF to be successful. If either one of us can accomplish our overall goal. So we encourage everyone, join the Lobo Club, but you need to look at 505 and you need to join 505 as well.
Well, that's our basic whole concept there, people. The Lobo Club does the heavy lifting, the organization, the staffing, and they do so much more than deal with student athletes. The organization, from ticketing to parking, it's all part of the Lobo Club. We at 505, in any collective that's functioning, want to do three things with our student athletes. A is recognize them, and through social media we do that. This is very important to the student athletes. The 20-year-old, 22-year-old loves social media, and our recognition of them is high end. The second one is to retain them. Transfer portal, financial ability to go anywhere. We need to have funds to keep the student athletes here. And finally, it's recruiting. When a student athlete makes his choice, it's clear. It's not unseemly. It's the law. I can get compensated, whether it's a few dollars, whether it's generating my image on social media, or whether it's getting paid a substantial amount of money depending on the sport. It's important for recruiting. So we have learned, we have physical, statistical studies that show when the athletic program thrives, the school thrives, and in a town like Albuquerque, the business community thrives. We don't have the Diamondbacks. We don't have the Denver Nuggets. We have the Lobos. So we're asking you, become part of our group. Join in. Again, it's 505sports.org. 505sports.org. Check it out. And if you join this week, we're going to have co-hosting with the Lobo Club. We're going to have an open practice for men's basketball. So come on board. I want to thank Jalen. Thanks for being here with us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And you guys will be back next week. Again, 505sports.org. We'll see you soon. Thank you.